we're going to set the stage, which we talk about the phases of development, which is human mindset and how we as human beings develop. We'll go through those stages, and then we'll talk about what is your reason. And I think the lesson for this week is to really focus in on your reason. If you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, or if you're an entrepreneur right now, what is your reason? Do you have clarity on that? And we'll go a little bit deeper into that later, because as we talk about these different phases of existence, right, as our mental stages develop, we will maybe understand that we might have began our business journey in a different stage for different reasons. Some of us may have started our journey because we wanted, I know when I was younger, I did start my first business because I wanted to just be a CEO. I wanted to know that title, my ego needed to be boosted, and then I learned very quickly what it really meant to be an entrepreneur. So let's talk about the different phases. Phase one is the victim identity. And and I'm sure most of us can talk through and understand that stage. The victim identity stage is when you have a loss of power. Everything is outside of you. The reason why your life isn't what you want it to be. You blame others. You believe that you are just a byproduct of your circumstances, your surroundings, and your upbringing, right? I'm sure a lot of us have friends or family members who are still in this stage, and it's our job to help them get out of that stage where they just have this loss of power. And a lot of us have probably been there at some stage in our life where we look at ourselves and we just think, wow, I don't, everything is outside of me. We blame everything else. And at some point later on in life, we wake up, right? We go through this awakening stage. We learn that happiness is actually a choice, that we can empower ourselves, right? We learn self-control. We learn that once we can empower ourselves and learn to change our reality, that we can actually affect the things around us. So that's when we start becoming a little ambitious. We set goals, and then we learn that we can choose what we believe, and then we can also let go of what doesn't serve us, right? And this awakening stage is probably, a decent amount of us here on Alchemy are probably, past this awakening stage, in this awakening stage, and we're really like just out there going through and getting it, right? Part of what ends up happening is you move on to phase three, which is the introspection phase of your life, right? And that's when you end up going a little bit deeper. If anybody was able to attend the Elevate that Eric did, he talks about this thing where, like building community, building the relationships, right? Because ultimately, as an entrepreneur, you may think that just making a whole bunch of money is going to make you really happy. And then you make that money and you realize it doesn't. There's still stuff missing. And this introspection stage is when you start really working on self-development. You start going deeper. You use meditation, practice breathing techniques, and you do a lot of stuff to elevate your mindset, right? That's really what this phase three is about. And I think that's when we start beginning to practice affirmations, meditations, creative visualizations, because we start realizing that we need to go deeper to find a level of happiness that external things and physical things can't provide us, right? There's a level of happiness that we need to provide ourselves. And I think many of us here in Alchemy are in between that, phase two, phase three, and that's why you joined Alchemy, because you're starting to take charge of your circumstances. You're taking charge of leveling up. You're asking to be held accountable, right?